my name is Chris. Welcome to Bourbinsane. Today we have got a very special review. We are going to be trying all three expressions from Blue Note. Now these are just their kind of core expressions. They do also make an unfiltered product, which I have not tried yet, but we're going to start with these three today. We've got the Blue Note Juke Joint, the Blue Note Rye whiskey, and then also the Blue Note Crossroads. Now this one is a French oak, so this is something good. We're going to be trying that one as well. So Blue Note is a product I've always seen on the shelf, probably the last 5 years or so. Never really tried it. I mean, back in the day when I was on Whiskey Tube before, I did actually get a sample or a bottle of Blue Note from the distillery, and it was good. It was solid stuff. Nothing extra special, but one thing I like about all three of these is they're unfiltered, which is very nice. You know, usually adds extra mouthfeel, extra complexity. We'll find out if that's the case. Without further ado, let's get into them. All right, so getting right into the Blue Note Juke Joint. Now, Blue Note is based in Memphis, Tennessee, so their whole theme with most of their bottles and expressions is going to be music. You know, the iconic music scene in Memphis. This bottle specifically, that's why it's called the Juke Joint. This bottle specifically is a partnership with Green River Distilling and Bardstown Bourbon Company. 70% corn, 21% rye, 9% malted barley, and on the bottle it does say it aged at least 3 years. So we're expecting probably around that 3-year age. Get a quick look at color here. Hopefully you can see that all right. It is light. You know, it is light, but you can definitely see some legs running on the glass here. So that the unfilteredness of this bottle is coming through on the glass, which is nice. So let's go into the nose. Yeah, not too much alcohol burn actually to begin with. For only a 3-year product, you know, not much alcohol burn coming through, which is good. It's impressive. As you can see, I've drank this bottle down already quite a bit. Definitely got your classic bourbon notes. I mean, this is 93 proof, so not overpowering. You got your vanillas, your caramels. A little bit of creaminess in there, and then definitely some brighter fruits. You know, with the more youthful age, you definitely can get those brighter fruits on the nose. I'd say some light citrus, like some pear almost. Not a bad nose, though. Let's go in for a taste. Cheers. It's got a little bit of that youthful graininess on the palate, you know, that youthful oak, a little bit of sharpness. But I can tell you, the mouthfeel is actually very nice. I do really like the mouthfeel. Coats the palate really well. And, you know, it leaves me salivating. It does. It's my first bourbon of the day. So first bourbon usually leaves me salivating anyway, but yeah. I mean, honestly, the nose is very similar to the palate on this one. You're still getting those fruits coming through. Again, bright citrus. Maybe some lemon peel in this one now on the palate. Some of that rye kick's coming through a little bit, but not too much. You know, 21% rye is a good amount of rye, but it's not a huge amount. Maybe that's just the 93 proof being a little bit lower. I'm not getting a huge amount of rye kick or rye bite on it. Yeah. I mean, it's a solid pour, honestly. It's solid. Price in this is only $34.99. $34.99 for an unfiltered, 93 proof, so it's up a little bit from your base, you know, 80, even 90, which is nice. Again, you're getting a 3-year bourbon, so keep that in mind. $34.99, though, I'm okay mixing at that price if I need to. And this is either going to be a mixer or something I'm going to drink that I'm just not going to have to think about much. You know what I mean? It's just a solid bourbon. Classic bourbon flavor profile. If it's something you're just getting into bourbon with, this could definitely be a good option for you. Let's move on to our next one. All right, moving on to the next expression in the lineup. We have got the Blue Note Rye whiskey. Again, this is coming in at 93 proof. This is a 95.5 rye, and all it says is distilled in Kentucky. So take that with what you will. You can do some guesses once you taste it yourself and see what you think. 3 years at least, again, on this bottle, and unfiltered also, 93 proof. Let's go into the color here. Lighter, even lighter than the last expression. Again, sticking to the glass pretty well, though. You know, you like to see that. Nose. Woo! Yeah, it's a definite rye on the nose. I mean, you immediately get those herbal notes, a little bit of dill. Definitely almost like a mintiness, like a spearmint gum, if you think about that. I mean, that 95.5 rye, it's kind of unmistakable when you smell it. Whew. I like it though. I do like the 95.5 rye, so let's go into the taste on this one. Maybe just coming off the back of that bourbon, I'm not getting a huge mouthfeel, a huge amount of flavor notes on this. I mean, it's got a little bit more spice kick, obviously, being the 95.5, but not much on the first sip. Let's give it another chance. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Cinnamon coming through, almost like a cinnamon big red gum, you know? I've said spearmint gum on the nose, more cinnamon on the palate, though. And again, this is the same price, $34.99. I think budget-wise, again, this is an easy mixer. 93 proof, it's Upton proof, which is great, unfiltered. You're not going to feel bad mixing it at that price point if you need to. Not something I would probably drink straight that often, but I could see this definitely being a great cocktail whiskey, given the, given the price point and given the 95.5 rye. So overall, not a bad option. Let's move on to our final one. All right, moving on to our final expression in the Blue Note lineup today, we're going to be talking about the Blue Note Crossroads. Now, this is the one, honestly, I'm probably the most excited to try and review for you. What they do with this bourbon is they take it and they finish it with toasted French oak staves. Now, this is the same mash bill as their Juke Joint, so you got 70% corn, 21% rye, 9% malted barley, and again, 3 years plus. But the good thing about this is they do up it to 100 proof. So I like that myself. And even on the color, you can see the finishing really did make a difference. This is much darker from my view than the other two. And you can tell that. Legs are still nice on the glass too. So likely unfiltered. I don't know if it says exactly on this bottle if it's unfiltered, but man, immediately that French oak, you can just tell it takes over. Even being only 3 years, it just adds another layer of depth and complexity. You can still smell a little bit of that youthful graininess if you're looking past the French oak kind of masks that, honestly. And anything, almost all things toasted that I've had, it adds another layer of creaminess more on the palate than the nose, but you can even smell that creaminess in here. French oak does that for me as well, but it's got a great nose. It's got a great nose. It's like your classic bourbon, but it's just upped. It's amped. The rye is actually coming through more on this than the first expression, the Juke Joint. You can tell there's more rye profile on this, like that 21% rye, which is interesting. Maybe it's just the way they finish the staves with the staves. It does that to it, but let's go into it. Yeah, that's definitely my favorite of the three. There's no question. The mouthfeel, the palate, the finish, creaminess. That creamy oak just runs right over the palate, and it's really good. Again, if you're thinking classic bourbon, this is your flavor profile. I mean, vanilla, caramels, but it's like more like a creamy caramel. Still that rye, though. I'm still getting rye on the palate, too. It could be that it's up to 100 proof. You know, it's fooling the palate thinking it's rye when it's actually just the proof that's upped, but it's really good, guys. It's really good. I'll tell you, the toastedness gives you almost that little bit of a marshmallowy feel and flavor. But you've got all your bourbon and rye notes in this. This is kind of a good balance of all of it, honestly. And this comes in only at $39.99, and that's a really good price for the finishing they're doing. Again, they don't say how long they're finishing with. I'm guessing probably about 6 months or so, enough to give it an influence. But for the price point, $39.99, to me, this is a pickup. I would get this again for sure. It's good stuff, and I would definitely sip this neat any day of the week. Only 3 years. If it was about double that age, it'd be amazing. But still, for 3 years, that price, you're not going to beat that. So for me, it's a pickup. Go see if you can find this bottle on the shelf. Thank you guys for watching the review today. Let me know if you guys have seen these products on the shelf anywhere. Like I said, they're popping up more and more for me, and at the value, it's honestly a good pickup. If you haven't already, please do go check out my website, Bourbinsane.com. I actually did a review of all 3 of these bottles. If you want more details, more specifics about the bottles, I break it down a lot more there at the website. And you can find a lot more content there too, whiskey news, reviews, so on. If you do want to support the channel, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. Turn that bell on so you know when I'm putting out more videos, and they're going to be coming. I'm telling you, they're going to be coming. One other thing, I did relaunch my Patreon page if you guys are interested in supporting the channel. Again, no pressure on that as I'm just starting back up here, but it is the best way to support the channel. You know, picking up these bottles, just being able to get new equipment to bring it better. I upgraded the camera today, so hopefully it shows, you know, a little bit in what we're doing. So, but I appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much for watching the review. Let me know if you're going to be picking up or looking for any of these Blue Note bottles. I'm curious your thoughts on them if you do. So send me a message. Stay insane, everyone.